Hello there, Wyslouch here. Welcome to my online music tutorial on how to put chords to and change chords to melodies. If you like these kind of informative videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Being able to put chords to and change chords to melodies is a very important tool. You can change the vibe of a song, change the mood, change the meaning by just taking the same melody and putting different chords on it. So for example, we could start off with 3 blind mice, and then all of a sudden we turn it into maybe 3 blind mice. It's got a very different vibe to it. So let's talk about a systematic approach on how I get these different options. We're only going to deal with major and minor chords, a major and minor triad. Without getting too deep into it, we're going to describe a major triad as having a 1 or root note, a major third, and a fifth. When you put them all together, they sound like a major triad. Now, if we have a minor triad, very similar to a major triad, but one note different. That is, it goes root, a minor third, and then the fifth. Let's start out by putting chords to or harmonizing just one note. I'm going to take a C. In order to harmonize this note, I'm going to define it as one of the 3 elements of either a major or minor triad. Let's say the C note will now become the 1 of a major triad. So the C note gets harmonized with a C chord. Cool, let's move along in the triad. We're still working with the same C melody note, but now that C note is going to be the third of X major triad. So now you could do the math. C is the third of what triad, what major triad? And the answer is an A flat major. So we sing the note and we play it. And now we've harmonized the C note with an A flat major triad. Okay, moving on to the final element of the major triad, the fifth. And we're going to say C is the fifth of what major triad? The answer is F major. So, with just this C note, we have the option of harmonizing with 3 different major triads. If the C is a root, it's a C major. If the C is a third, it's an A flat major. If the C is a fifth, it's an F major. So, with that information, you could just pause the video right now and take any note and figure out the 3 major triad options. But we said at the beginning of the video we're going to deal with both major and minor triads. So let's do the exact same process with just the C note with minor triads. If the C is the root of X minor triad, what chord will it be? If the C is the root of X minor triad, what is the value of X? The answer is C minor. Now with a C minor triad. Okay, very nice. Now, if the C is the minor third of X triad, what is that triad? The answer is A minor. Okay, if C is the fifth of X minor triad, what is the minor triad? F minor. So now we have 3 different options for harmonizing that C note with a minor triad. We have C minor, we have A minor, we have F minor. With just using major and minor triads, we've come up with 6 different options just to harmonize this one C note. Of course, most melodies are not going to have exclusively one note, so it's not quite this simple. But it's not much more complicated either. I want to take a melody, In the Pines. I just want to do the first 4 bars. This is the skeletal melody. In the pines, where the sun never shines. My goal right now is to just harmonize or put chords to that melody. First, let's just break down which notes we're actually going to harmonize, because that's a lot of notes, and if you put a separate chord to each one of those notes, it would get quite cluttered. So what I want to focus on are the focus tones. What do I mean by focus tones? Focus tones are the tones that attract your focus when you listen to it. Without getting too theoretical about it, if you listen to a melody, there's certain notes that jump out, that there's a lot of gravity behind the notes where they really call to your attention. In this case, for example, in the pines. When we land on pines, because of the rhythmic and melodic stuff going on around it, pines really attracts your focus. So I'm going to define what those focus tones are in those 4 bars of melody that we've just discussed. In the pines, where the sun never shines. So we've got 4 separate focus tones that we're going to harmonize or put chords to. Now, going through each one of those 4 focus tones, we deduce what all the options are. If we did the classic variation, it would just be in the pines, where the sun never shines. But now, we've seen what all the options are per focus tone. So we can come up with a ton of different variations on just these chords for the first 4 bars of In the Pines. Let's come up with 2 random options now that we've seen the 6 chords per focus tone that we can use. Okay. In the pines, where the sun never shines. Option 1. Okay, option 2. Going totally random here. In the pines, where the sun never shines. Interesting. Totally different vibe. So now, you could take your original song, is that melody that you were humming down the street, and sit down and think, what are the focus tones? Where is like the melody really attracting your attention? Define what those focus tones are, and then figure out all the major and minor options are, and find your own harmonic sensibility. If you like these kind of videos and this kind of information, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You might also be interested in my own music. All that information is down below in the description. Thanks so much for tuning in.